Now, ahead of the November 11 governorship election in Imo State, youths under the aegis of Imo Obedience have endorsed Governor Hope Uzodinma for re-election. Consequently, Governor Uzodinma has described the group as a patriot crusader for good leadership in Nigeria. The governor stated this on Sunday when the youths, led by Dr. Emeka Mandela, endorsed him in Owerri for his re-election in the state. The group also noted that Obedient Movement is not about any political party, but about good leadership, the future and interest of Nigeria. Leader of the youths, Mandela Emeka, told the governor that they had resolved to vote for him in the coming election because they found him worthy to lead the state better than other candidates taking part in the exercise. We're now being joined by Dr. Emeka Mandela to speak to us about the politics in Imo State and the chances for Governor Uzodinma on the November 11th election. Good to have you on Arise News. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here to speak on the issue of Imo State.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here again. So, Dr. Mandela, tell us, based on the performance of the governor in the first term, do you think that his chances are really high in securing a re-election?
Yes, and I say yes 100% for one very specific reason. Currently, right now, in the November 11 polls, we have people who have come forward to pick tickets from different political parties. And looking at them, you would score the governor, the current governor, His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodinma. You're going to score him far above them in terms of personality. These people are people we have known over the years. No one is a newcomer to the political terrain. We've seen them, we've known them, we've verified about them. And we don't think, if we want to change our governor, that we're going to go for them as an alternative to change our governor. So I'm confident that because of the class of people in the race with him, he's going to definitely get our votes 100%.
All right.
Thank you.
Dr. Mandela, you've just said that Hope Uzodinma, the governor of the state, towers above others. But my own question is, based on feedbacks that have always come out from Imo State, a lot of reports from Imo State states that insecurity is at an all-time low. Criminality is at an all-time high in Imo State. And they said the governor has not really moved mountains to ensure that the people in your state are safe.
I got you loud and clear. And you see, the insecurity issue, I want us to discuss it very clearly. Insecurity issue in Imo State is not peculiar to Imo State. The insecurity in Imo State is a regional situation that affects Imo State, Abia State, Anambra State, Ebonyi, and Enugu states.
But it's clear that Imo State probably towers above. When you look at the numbers, you look at the data, what is happening in Imo State is far worse than what we see in Abia State, in Enugu State, in Ebonyi State. Imo State is a peculiar situation. As a matter of fact, the Catholic Association yesterday just came out and also have been pleading with people to come together to wage war or declare war on insecurity in the state. So if you try to probably twist it, you're almost not saying the truth, because people in the states, as a matter of fact, the diocese in Imo State are insisting that it has become too much.
Thank you so much for this fact. Now, I'm not here to support the insecurity in Imo State. I'm only telling you not to single out insecurity with the peculiarities of the Southeast. And I don't need to remind you that Anambra has faced more brutality, headless killings of people in Anambra. But that's not why we are here. Let's talk about insecurity and how it can be solved and what the governor has actually done to curb the insecurity in Imo State. Imo State, like every other Southeast state, is challenged with the regional situation about the set of persons that are clamoring for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. It's very clear. That is the situation of Imo State. That is the bedrock of the insecurity in Imo State. And the current governor, Uzodinma, I will tell you, when the insecurity was so high, was during the jailbreak in Imo State. During that period, you dare not come to Imo. You can't come to Imo. But as of today, as I'm speaking to you, even the Monday sit at home has been doused down far more than any other state. People can now move freely in Imo State. People can go to markets. People can come out. And all this credit can only be given to the chief security officer of the state, who went into the insecurity situation, combated it head along. He separated the non-state actors from citizens and was able to combat them out of the state. Before in Imo State, you will see every blessed Monday shootouts. In fact, it spilled out into other days. But I can tell you can go and verify. The last time you saw shootouts sporadically in the streets of Owerri, on Okigwe, or in Olu. The last one that happened just in Okigwe, where some military personnel and some police personnel were, of course, killed. The governor went there himself. In the normal nature of the military, we know the military all over the world, all over Nigeria, maybe I can say, they have this attitude of reprisal attacks when they lose a colleague. Okigwe would have been a total war zone or annihilation of even innocent youths. But the governor waded into the situation, breached that anger the army had, and today we still have peace in Okigwe. People are moving about their daily business in Okigwe. If you go to Okigwe right now as we speak, just go to the market square, and you'll see people buying and selling things. Go to Olu Zone, go to the market squares. You see, people sit down and tell you that there is no movement in Imo State. Nobody can move around in Imo State. Insecurity is so high. But I'm telling, as I'm speaking to you right now, if you have a satellite, go to the hottest parts of Imo State. You will see movement. You will see people. It's not as exaggerated as it is. Because of the political situation, a lot of people are hitting up the tempo and blowing it out of proportion because they want to unseat the governor. You have political propagandas everywhere. When one person is mistakenly shot, they say it's 500 persons, or 5 persons, or 10 persons, or 15 persons. We're not saying there's no insecurity in Imo State. I say there is, and it's a regional problem. But the governor has done good in bringing it down to the barest minimum where we can now even move out at night. Mm-hmm. Last 2 years or one and a half year ago, you can't move out at night in Imo State. You can't move out at night in Owerri. But as I'm talking to you right now, those things are things of the past.
Okay.
It's not as bad as it is. There is life in Owerri. There is life in Imo State.
Great. We hear you, Dr. Mandela. So I'd just like to, for those who are undecided about who they're going to cast their votes for come November 11th in your state, I'd just like you to take this opportunity to clear the air regarding two incidents that might be relatively contradictory regarding Governor Uzodinma. He did give the assurance that the election will be free, fair, and credible, as well as transparent. But he also urged voters to defend their votes by casting their ballots in order to guard against manipulation. In that case, wondering why they would need to defend their votes if everything would go free, fair, and credible. And in the other instance, during the signing of the peace accord, he was not present, and we all know that that's an opportunity to ensure that everything goes relatively well, and also an opportunity for the candidates to speak with the electorate and give them an opportunity to have insight on their manifesto. So why did these two things happen, in your opinion?
Okay, let me quickly talk about the governor reassuring people to come out, cast their votes, and stay back to defend their votes. Yes, the election, the governor is not INEC. INEC is going to assure us that the election will be free, fair, and credible. But as citizens, we have the right to vote, stay back for our vote to be counted, And obviously, we have to make sure that those votes are protected. So the governor is confident that Imo citizens are going to vote him, at least majority of the Imo citizens as at today, we vote him. And that is why he's assuring us not to just vote and go back, but we should vote and make sure that the vote we gave Uzodinma counts and is pronounced. And I'm telling you clearly, you can go and check your facts, that yes, maybe as of 2 years ago, Imo citizens, including persons like me, might have wanted the governor to leave the office because of the high level of insecurity. But as of today, we've seen those on the ballot, and we are to select from those on the ballot. And we're saying to you, we're saying to the people that you on the ballot, we know you. You're from so village, we verified about you. You have nothing to show for it. How can you come up to say you want our vote? Okay, looking at the major players, for instance, most of them have been senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria before. They've controlled zonal intervention funds. I want to prove to them, they should just point one federal project that they've attracted to the senatorial zone they govern over. You want to come and become governor. You've held a public office before. And you did nothing. Nothing to show for it. And Imo citizens will just give you their vote because we are not comfortable with what's happening in the States. We might not be comfortable with what's happening in the States. But what we don't want to do is to move from frying pan to fire. The angel we know right now is better than the devils we don't know that it might come in. So we are better off with Uzodinma completing his 8 years than somebody that do not have the character that as obedience we should watch out for coming to take over for him. No, it's a no for us. We'll give Uzodinma our votes.
Yeah, but what about the peace accord that wasn't signed by Hope Uzodinma? What message does that send? Because other candidates showed up, but he didn't. So how do we, how do we resolve that?
Thank you. You see, Uzodinma has already been lawful and peaceful in his campaigns. You can see what is happening in Kogi State, for instance. It's not happening in Imo State. There is no conflicts. There are the electioneering is already peaceful. And I might not know exactly those who organize the peace accord, but I don't know if it's a church, if it's INEC, or if it's a reputable institution. I do not know. But what I'm saying is that the state is already peaceful. Uzodinma has brought a peaceful atmosphere for the elections of November. Take Kogi State as an example. We know what is happening in Kogi State, the same 11th November election. But look at Uzodinma's election. Nobody can complain. No candidate can complain that Uzodinma is intimidating him or her. He has been very respectful to everybody, and he has been very peaceful in his campaigns and his dealings. What other peace accord do you need from him? He has deposited peace by his character towards the elections. That is what we are looking at.
All right,
I will give it to him.
Okay, Dr. Mandela, first of all, it's the devil you know. Maybe you're trying not to. The devil you know, as they say, is better than the angel that you don't know. Okay, so probably you're trying to be cheeky there. So let me just draw the parallels there. Okay, moving away from that.
I don't have the power to call anybody a devil.
No, but you used the quote. I'll just only say you should have used it correctly rather than twisted the quote to favor your own narrative.
Okay, you've done that. You've done that.
Okay, moving away from that, I'm sure you represent a faction of the youth in Imo State, and you've been impressed with what Governor Hope Uzodinma has actually done, maybe to alleviate the plights of the youth in Imo State. Can you tell us what has he done for the youths that you're throwing your weight behind the governor?
Thank you so much. There are a lot of things Uzodinma have done. You see, one fantastic thing that the governor has done, particularly for the youths, let me start with the youths before I go into other areas, is the area of Skill Up Imo. There is this innovation the governor came with called Skill Up Imo. And Skill Up Imo, in a very short while, the governor has trained 15,000 Imo youths young women and young men in the IT sector. And after the training, he empowered them with laptops. Now, this is building human capital development. This is making people become self-employed, because you know, of course, we're in an information technology age, and you know what a laptop, an ultra-modern laptop, can help an individual to just sit down in his house and he becomes self-employed. Uzodinma did not stop there. We have about 5,000 young men and women that are not privileged to have smartphones. And he located these people from different localities in the States, young people, youths, and empowered them with 5,000 smartphones. We know the advantage of having a smartphone today. He didn't stop there. We have about 15,000 young men and women, youths of the States, that have interest in business but cannot start up businesses. The governor empowered these 15,000 young men and women with 250,000 naira to start up a business and become self-employed. These are verifiable facts. I'm not telling you things that we cannot verify, because as an obedient, I'm of the verification age. So you can just go and verify it. Now, I can go on and on and on wonderful things the governor has done. Let me talk a little about the road infrastructure of Imo State. There are 3 major roads that have bedeviled the state over the years, that has been so dilapidated. And you see the Owerri-Okigwe Road, the Owerri-Olu Road, the MCC-Urata Road. Look, I'm not here to say what governor has not done. Of course, that's where the opposition will hold on. But I'm talking of what he has done, and we're re-electing him based on what he has done. For the things he has not done, we're re-electing him to go and do them. Now, anybody who passed through any of these roads I'm talking to you right now, I applied one of these roads about 3 days ago. Anybody who applies this road, I tell you, that person will automatically give Uzodinma his vote. Because if you can remember the state of that road about 4 years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, you will not open your mouth and say, no, this man has tried. For this road alone, he deserves a second tenure. But it's not just that. Uzodinma has also done one in the health sector. He has done one in the educational sector. He has done one in the civil service. You know that in the civil service, the last time civil servants got promotion was in 2013. But today, because of Uzodinma, a lot of promotions has been done. The civil servants in Imo State right now, you can go and verify, receives 13th month salary. It was not there before. The civil servants in Imo State, you can go and verify, also have free bus shuttles for civil servants to go to work. Do you want to talk about the education system? The governor has just converted the Polytechnic of Umago to a university. The Alvan College of Education, Federal College of Education, to a university. These are done in his tenure. Uzodinma has just attracted pharmacy department into Imo State University. Before, citizens of Imo State cannot study pharmacy in the state. They have to go to Port Harcourt or any other place to study pharmacy. But Uzodinma, under 3.5 years, has brought pharmacy department to the doorstep of the state. Do you want to talk about the health sector? The FMC Owerri has been converted to a teaching hospital. I'm a doctor. I know how much we've been crying, asking state governors to go and lobby with the federal government and convert that place to teaching hospital. It will help us a lot. But today, in less than 3.5 years, the governor has converted the mighty FMC to a teaching hospital. You don't know how much that is going to bring value to the health system of Imo State. That is not that. The governor has also built about 3 ultra-modern hospitals with state-of-the-art facilities in different local governments in the state. And handed these hospitals over to the mission so that they can be their maintenance can be top-notch. I can go on and tell you things that the governor has done that people might not even say, that people that might not even see. But he has done fantastically well. The only problem with Imo State is that the insecurity beclouded a lot of people, that you don't see the wonderful things the governor has been doing. If I start listing his achievements, this is the governor that when he came into office, of course, he came in during the COVID-19 era. The whole nation was on lockdown. So there was practically little or nothing anybody could do.
Well, like you said, Dr. Emeka Mandela, like you said, if you had to list all these achievements, you would go on all day, but unfortunately we've run out of time. We appreciate your time and contribution here on Newsday. Former presidential aspirant, National Rescue Movement Party and convener of Obediently Hopeful Movement, Dr. Emeka Mandela, thank you for your time and all the best to your candidate.